Yes, guys, welcome back to the YouTube. So today, I'm going to be educating you on how to set up your macros, your diet, essentially, okay? Because I know it can be confusing what to eat, how much protein, fats, carbs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take away all that guesswork for you. I'm going to show you how to break it down. So there's going to be a lot in this. I shortened it as much as I can. I broke it down to make it as easy to digest as possible. But grab yourself a coffee, get a pen and paper, and let's get into it. All right, guys, welcome to the presentation. So, first things first, why listen to me? Basically, I myself have completed multiple photo shoots, but I've also been in gaining phases myself. You know, even for when it comes to sports, I've completed high rocks. There's been different events that I've had to have different approaches with my nutrition. But when it comes to like setting up your diet, building muscle tissue, reducing body fat, this is my bread and butter at the end of the day. So I've been through it myself. I've been on both extremes, really, really high levels of, deep into an off season, a gaining phase, and then obviously into, the depths of a dieting phase where I've done photo shoots. So I've done it myself. But most importantly, I've helped hundreds of people transform their physiques. So physical transformations, understanding how the body works, it's my bread and butter. That's what we do. And you can see here is just a couple of examples, all different backgrounds, different shapes, different sizes, but all have physique goals, okay? So setting your diet up is one of the most important things. And it's one of the things that I see people fail with a lot. They can train hard, their routine, their sleep might be pretty decent as well, but their nutrition, they either don't track their nutrition, they don't know how to track their nutrition. So that's why I want to take that guesswork away from you and show you exactly what needs to happen depending on your goals. So I'm just going to touch off quickly the roles of each macronutrient and why it's important never to just like completely eliminate. There's lots of like these carnivore diets, keto diets, high fat, no fat, low fat, whatever it might be. But I think the key thing to have is have a well-balanced diet of your protein, your carbs, and your fats. And as you can see here, your proteins, every macronutrient has a key role. So your protein helps build and repair all cells in the body, not just muscle tissue. Your carbohydrate is your energy source, your glycogen, so that can optimize your training performance, help with your recovery, and boost your performance. So I'll touch off it again, time my nutrients in and around training to help drive performance, help with that recovery, okay? And then fats for your hormone production, inflammation, and to help your body absorb certain vitamins as well, we do need fats, okay? So for protein, carbs, and fats, for each gram, protein has 4 calories. For each gram of carbs, it has 4 calories, but for each gram of fats, it has 9 calories. So you can see your fats are very, very high in calories, calorie dense, okay? So that's why you need to be careful when you're using butter on bread, when you're cooking with oils. A handful of nuts is very, very high in calories because fats or nuts are very high fatty foods. So it's just these things that you need to be mindful of. If you're cooking in oils, whatever it might be, your dressings, your mayonnaise is quite fatty as well. So there are things to be mindful of and things you need to track as well. A lot of the time you may not track your oils, you may not track your sauces and stuff, but they do have calories in them. And if your goal is to reduce body fat, but it's not working and you think you're tracking your calories, well, that could be a reason why. So just be mindful of that. Protein has the highest thermic effect. So your body burns more calories digesting protein, essentially, okay? So that's why and protein is the most satiating, keeps you fuller for longer over your carbs and also over your fats. So one thing, I'm not going to dive too heavily into it, but I'm going to leave a link below for you to find out your BMR and to calculate your total energy expenditure. So it's Harris-Benedict equation. As I said, just click the link below. You put in your age, your height, your weight, and your activity levels, and then that will give you your calories, okay? Then once you have your calories, you can then come back to this and say, okay, this is the setup I need to have. This is the ratios I want to have. So we're going to use a 100 kg guy as an example, a 3,000 calorie diet. That's what he's figured out his calorie total expenditure to be, okay? So you'll have your own specific one, but this is the one we're going to run with for now. So for instance, your protein. This differs from person to person. For instance, if you're 100 kg obese guy compared to 100 kg jacked guy, it's going to be completely different. But a good rule of thumb and a good general rule is to go for 1 to 1.5 grams of protein per body weight. So if you're 100 kgs, that's 220 pounds. And if you're going on the lower end for the 1 gram per pound, that would be 220 grams of protein, okay? So that's your 220 pounds multiplied by 220 grams of protein is how you'd work that out. Okay. So then protein is the most satiating macronutrient. So into a dieting phase, it might make more sense to go on the higher end because it's going to keep you fuller for longer, but you're also burning more calories digesting that protein. So the thermic effect is actually higher, the thermic effect of food, because when you're consuming food, your body has to break it down. So it burns calories digesting the food, and protein, it burns the most calories digesting protein. Okay. That's why I personally like to go for a higher diet, especially in a dieting phase. Your fats, then, a good rule of thumb that you can go with is 1 gram per lean body mass. So for example, if you're 100 kgs, but you're in and around 20% body fat, that would mean you're about 80 kgs of lean mass. Then that's 80 grams of fats. Okay. So again, 20% body fat, that means that of lean mass out of 100 kg, you are 80 kg of lean body mass. And then you 1 gram per kg, apologies. So that equals 80 grams of fat. Okay. And once you've figured out your protein, your fats, your carbs, then is what we need to figure out. Okay. So that makes up the remainder of the calories. So your protein and your fats give you 1600 calories. You multiply your protein by 4, your fats by 9. That gives you 1600. You then minus that 1600 from the 3000 calories, your maintenance calories that we worked out at the start. That gives you 1400. 1400 divided by 4, again, because of your carbohydrates, that then gives us 350 grams of calories. So you figured out that 3000 calories is your maintenance calories. We've now figured out our protein, our carbs, and our fats. We have our macros set up. Okay, this is our macros that we found out. We've worked it out. Now our goal is to sit at maintenance. We want to sit at maintenance for 1 to 2 weeks just to make sure that these actually are your maintenance calories, because you might sit at 3000 calories, but you're actually losing weight. So then we're not in our maintenance calories. Or else you might sit at 3000 calories and you're gaining weight. Okay, we're actually slightly in a surplus. So you never want to go, you always want to start with what you figure out to be your maintenance calories. 1 to 2 weeks, prime the body, get used to the food, get used to your body adapting to the calorie targets, the protein, the fats, the carbs. And then from there, you can adjust, okay? So if you want to reduce body fat, a good rule is to go 500 calories less. If you want to gain weight, again, we want to gain lean weight, lean muscle mass, just go up 200 calories. All right, guys, so I hope that helped. I hope you now understand how to break down your macros, how to find out your maintenance calories, and then what to do from there, okay? One thing that I did leave out is I'd always keep protein fairly consistent. And then when I'm going into that gaining phase, if I'm adding 200 calories, I'd add them from fats and carbohydrates, okay? And then vice versa, if I'm going into a dieting phase, I'd pull my calories from my fats and carbs. So just always keeping that protein consistent. But as I mentioned, as you get deeper and deeper into a dieting phase, I may push that protein up a little bit just because of the thermic effect, and obviously it is more satiating. But again, I don't want to overwhelm you with too much stuff. The key, be consistent with it. You need to stick to it consistently, guys, okay? If you're half in it, half out of it, your macros is all over the place, you're one day in a surplus, deficit, maintenance, you're all over the shop, you're not hitting enough protein, you're not going to respond the way you want to respond, guys, okay? So make sure to be consistent with it. Once you then do hit those plateaus, let's say, for instance, in a weight loss phase, you then have two options. You push up your food. Sorry, apologies, you do not do that. You push up your output, so like your cardio, your step count, your output, or else you pull your food. So you make some slight adjustments on the nutrition side of things. Again, that's why it's important to keep track of weekly progress, your weight, your visuals. Also, guys, if you do want to set up a call with myself just to figure out what approach I would take specifically for you, if you're unsure whether to gain, whether to maintain, body recomp, whatever it is, book in for a discovery call below. I can talk you through everything, give you a bit of clarity on your goals. And then if you want to join the team, we can see if we're a good fit. So peace and love. Please remember to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.